Language plays a large role in the Book of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck. The language we use is shaped by our culture, our family, our education, the area in which we live, and the time period in which we live. The same is true for characters in books. Authors choose their characters' words very carefully. They want the readers to be able to infer important things about the characters based on what they say and how they say it. So we are going to discuss and write down the definition for 3 distinct terms at the top of our worksheet. The first term is familiar to you and should be a review. That term is idiom. So go ahead and write down. An idiom is a figure of speech that cannot be taken literally. You should not be able to predict the meaning of an idiom. For example, if I say, chew the fat. Chew the fat is an idiom. That does not mean chewing on fat because that would be disgusting. But chew the fat in this case means to just talk about gossip with somebody. You cannot look at chew the fat and understand what the true meaning is. That's what makes it an idiom. This worksheet that you're getting takes idioms all throughout the Book of Mice and Men, and we're going to try to figure out what they might mean. Some are a little more familiar to you. For example, in chapter 1, you have the idiom in hot water. If someone is in hot water, you probably know what that means. If someone is in hot water, it means that they are in trouble, right? But there are others that are going to be new for you, so it'll be kind of interesting to look through them. The second term on your worksheet is dialect. Dialect should be kind of familiar to you also. I know you've talked about it before. Dialect is a particular form of language that is unique to a specific region or social group. So for example, when you use words that are different based on where you are regionally, that has to do with dialect. So for example, you go down south and somebody is saying y'all, right, instead of you. That would be an issue, or that would be an aspect of dialect. For example, we talked about the difference between pop and soda. That's a dialect thing, okay? We talk about the issues, or not necessarily the issues, but here in central Pennsylvania, we always say a sentence without a verb that we need. We always say sentences like this. The car needs washed. That's a dialect thing because everywhere else in the United States, they say the car needs to be washed. Okay, for some reason here, a part of our dialect is we forget to be. All right, the last thing is completely new and it's kind of a difficult word. This word is colloquial. Colloquial language. This refers to any language that is non-standard or informal. I like to think about colloquial as conversational, okay? So an author is going to use colloquial language when he or she is writing dialogue for characters because they want you, the reader, to understand the dialect of the characters, where they're from, how educated they are, what they believe, that kind of thing. So I always think that the authors are going to use colloquial language in dialogue. So now in Of Mice and Men, you're going to see the end of words drop, right? So like some of you even say gonna, right? And you'll see different things like that. You'll see like if you said hangin', right? Where it might look like that. You might see the use of the word ain't, right? That kind of thing. The familiar conversational words that has to do with colloquialisms. Okay, so that's it. You're going to turn to your worksheet now and get going.